everybody, Beck here from Solo Connections. So as I mentioned in my last video, we're going to start delving a little bit deeper into our tours and giving you more insight on what you can expect when you travel with us. I've got Danny here with me today, and Danny, what tour are we going to be talking about today?
We're focusing on our Tasmanian Highlights tour departing in March next year.
That's one of our most favourite tours and one of our most popular, so let's get into it and talk about what to expect, hey?
Let's do it.
So Danny, we're talking about Tasmanian Highlights, and it's a 10-day tour that starts in Launceston on the 29th of March and finishes in Launceston on the 7th of April. Let's touch on first what is actually included in the cost of the tour.
With Solo Connections, our tours are very comprehensive. Everybody can be rest assured that they're in very good hands because all of our tours come with a Solo Connections host that's there from Brisbane Airport. For those that are travelling from Brisbane, for those that aren't travelling from Brisbane, you'll meet the host in Launceston at the beginning of the itinerary, and our host is there right through from the beginning to the end to make sure that everything runs smoothly, that everybody's included, and just there to make sure you're having a great time, especially when you do have free time, as the local guides won't be with us all the time. So they're very handy to make sure that you optimize your tour experience, and that's one of the things that I think's a big advantage. You'll also be traveling with only 20 passengers. And again, traveling in a small group, it's lovely that you get to know everybody, but it's not too intimate a group either. We've got everybody in their own private room, so you don't need to share with a stranger. And you've got most of your meals included. So there's very few meals throughout this itinerary that you'll have to worry about. Predominantly the odd lunch that you'll need to do. So if you're not a big eater, you'll probably find that your breakfast will tie you through. We've got all your sightseeing included as per our tour itinerary that we're going to go through with you now. And as I've mentioned previously, we have got local guides that are experts in the area to make sure you get that local expertise.
It's an amazing itinerary, and there is so much included in it, specifically, with the meals and sightseeing. And in Tasmania, we do have a fabulous driver guide, don't we? In Anthony, he's amazing, and
Absolutely
he looks after
brilliant.
us really well. So on this particular itinerary, the only thing that you're going to need to actually purchase extra are your flights. So from your home state city into Launceston and return. Any additional excursions that you might want to do or sightseeing outside of the itinerary when there is some free time, your drinks, and anything of a personal nature, and of course travel insurance. It's not compulsory on the tour, but it is highly recommended, of course, for everybody to have that. So yeah, lots of inclusions
and
for
spending
our
money
hosts.
for shopping.
Of course, don't forget your spending money for your shopping. We'll definitely want to do that when we get to Hobart for sure. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take you through day by day through the itinerary, and we're going to point out a lot of the highlights along the way and what meals are included as we go.
So now's the time to pause, go to the bathroom, coffee or tea stop, and then come back and get comfortable as we take you through the day-to-day.
So day one of our Tasmanian Highlights itinerary officially starts in Launceston. However, all of our Brisbane or Queensland passengers that are leaving from Brisbane to fly to Launceston will meet at the Brisbane Domestic Airport, and there they'll meet their tour host as well. Now, Danny typically sees all of our groups off, so she's going to quickly run through what the procedure is when we meet you at the airport. Danny?
So I get to see you all off at the airport, and we try to get everybody together a little bit earlier than necessary, just so we can check everybody's name off, make sure everybody's together, so we can then all get in the queue, check in, and it allows both myself and the host that's taking the trip to make sure that we get you all checked in, and so you don't need to do any of that by yourself. We will assist with making sure that the seat allocation that you've previously requested is correct, and then from there we'll then take you through to a cafe where you'll enjoy some drinks and some snacks together. You'll be able to calm the nerves, relax, get to know your fellow travellers, and that are leaving from Brisbane, and then you'll meet the rest obviously in Launceston, but it just gives you a chance to just relax a little bit, get to know our host before we then take you through to your gate, where we then see you off to Launceston.
Yeah, it's a great procedure. It makes everybody feel really chilled out, and they get those nerves out of the way if they haven't travelled with us before, if they haven't met, because we typically have a lot of past passengers on our tours as well. So some people will know each other, but those that are travelling with us for the first time will get to meet a lot of passengers and make new friends straight from the get-go.
And it's lovely for me to see all the nervous faces when I first got there, to seeing them all bright-eyed and smiling and just calm and relaxed, ready to go. And they almost feel like their trip has already started because they're all telling each other stories and looking forward to what's to come. So it's
a great start to the tour.
It's always really nice for me to be able to go off and see everybody there. So it's
that's really good. Our passengers that are coming in from other states, however, obviously you're going to go straight into Launceston. So we do ask that you have flights that are landing around the same time as the hosts and the rest of the group. So that way you can all transfer together, and the host will be waiting for you when you get there, so you don't need to worry about trying to transfer yourself to the hotel, which takes us to our hotel. So once we actually arrive into Launceston, our fantastic coach captain generally is Anthony, and he will meet the group at the airport and help everybody with their luggage.
That's right.
And then we head to the Best Western plus Launceston, which is the hotel we generally stay at in Launceston. And we'll get everybody checked in, and then we're going to have a lovely welcome dinner on that first night. So that's it's a great start to the tour.
And it's a great location to base yourself in Launceston, not far from the park, which is a nice wonder.
It's nice and central for everybody.
Right.
So moving on to day 2, we're having breakfast at the hotel, and then everybody will be checking out, and we've got a really lovely day planned. There's all your sightseeing included today, and we start in the Tama Valley with a visit to the Mine and Heritage Museum, which is a gold mining town in Beaconsfield. Now everybody will know Beaconsfield from the mining disaster back in 2006, where we had Todd Russell and Brant Webb, who were trapped underground for 2 weeks. So that's a really interesting tour and fascinating for those people that have never been to that area, to actually get a really in-depth information about what happened there. So moving on from there, Danny, where are we headed?
No, Batman!
The Batman Bridge.
So we're going to go across the unique A-frame Batman Bridge, and we'll tour northeast through Scottsdale, Branxholme, and the Tin Mining Centre of Derby. We're going to visit Ledgerwood and travel through to the War Memorial and enjoy beautiful tree carvings. And it's a great place to take a group photo, but it's also a place that we can honour the fallen soldiers from the region. As we continue our day, we're going to tour through the myrtle rainforest of Wildborough Pass and descend through to the east coast and enjoy one of my favourite places in Tasmania, St Helens. You'll be able to see beautiful coastline with flame-coloured rocks and be able to take a little wander through that area before we continue on for our overnight stay overlooking Georges Bay, staying at the conveniently located Panorama St Helens.
So it's a beautiful day. A lot of history, a lot of information, a lot of scenery for everybody. And of course, once we've checked into the hotel, everyone will have a little time to freshen up, and then we're going to meet back in the hotel for dinner that evening. And then that's the end of day 2. So we're up to day 3 of our Tasmanian Highlights tour, and this day sees us travelling from St Helens down the east coast to Hobart, where we're going to have a 4-night stay. So there's a little bit of travel involved in today's itinerary. However, we've got a lot of stops along the way, and it's going to be a really great day. So we'll check out of our hotel after breakfast, and we're stopping off first at the East Coast Nature World. This is where you're going to get up close and personal with some Tassie devils. We'll see some wombats and a lot of beautiful Australian native animals. You'll get to see them being fed, which is always really fun and a highlight for a lot of people.
They're so cute for
for a devil, right?
Right.
They're gorgeous. And we always love seeing our passengers' photos from the nature world when they get back. It's really great to see, and everybody enjoys that. Leaving the nature world, we're actually going to keep going down the east coast, and we're going to come into the resort town of Bishnow. Now, Bishnow has this amazing blowhole. So it is weather dependent and it is tide dependent as well. And obviously that's something we can't really control. But if you get to see that in action, it is an amazing thing to witness. So make sure you have your cameras handy, right? Like,
we have our fingers crossed for you.
We always have our fingers crossed that you're going to get to see that one. And it's an amazing thing to see. So before continuing on, however, we are going to also see some beautiful views over the Great Oyster Bay, and again, with weather, you should be able to see out to Maria Island, and make sure you have your cameras ready, right?
Definitely. And as we continue along, we're going to be able to take in the spectacular Fresno Peninsula.
Oh, gorgeous.
Isn't it?
Beautiful.
You will never find somebody advertising or talking about Tassie without seeing a picture of Fresno coastline.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
It's just picture perfect, and I have to say I've been fortunate to see it in both good weather and bad, and I assure you, you can't go wrong either way. It's just one of those places that's really beautiful, and depending on the weather, it brings out different little things to enjoy, whether it's the nature or the water. So you'll be in for a treat there. As we continue, you'll be able to see the Fresno National Park, and you'll be able to see the jagged pink granite peaks, the crystal clear waters, and the sandy white beaches. And
stunning.
It really is. So as we continue on this comprehensive day, we're going to see the Tasman Highway, and as we pass through Swansea, and we'll pause to look at the convict-built Spiky Bridge.
More great photo opportunities.
Definitely.
So we're going to then continue through to the Prosser River Valley, which takes us through Buckland, and then stopping in the historic town of Richmond. So from our past tours, this has been a really big highlight for a lot of people. They've loved being in Richmond. The oldest Catholic church in Australia is located there. More photos. Make sure you're snapping away all day
One
today.
of my favourite bridges in Tasmania.
Yeah. It is gorgeous, and it is a photographer's delight for sure.
And a really good bakery.
Yes.
You can't go to Richmond without going to the bakery.
This is very, very true. So definitely make sure you stop in and see one of the tea rooms or the bakery there before we continue on to the city of Hobart for our 4 nights. Now we're going to be stopping at the old wool store in Hobart. So quite a special stay, and it's a beautiful old hotel that's been redone there. And
the hotel is part of the destination itself.
Yes.
It encompasses everything that Tassie is about, with its history and its art and architecture.
Definitely.
So it's very much a treat.
It's a destination in itself. Yeah.
It is.
So checking into our hotel, and we'll then meet for dinner within the hotel that evening. So day 4, and we are waking up in Hobart and enjoying a beautiful breakfast at the old wool store before we board our coach, and we are going to spend the day at the Port Arthur convict settlement. So full of Australian history and our convict past. It's incredible. There's going to be so much for everybody to learn. If you are not familiar with the convict past of Tasmania and Port Arthur specifically, you're going to learn a lot. If you do know quite a bit about the past, this is going to add to your repertoire of things to talk about with the convict history. You're included in the day. You're going to have the entry into the guided walking tour, so there will be a local guide that will take the group around and discuss all different elements of the Port Arthur settlement. We'll go on a short harbour cruise as well, and there's full access to the visitor centre and the interpretation gallery. And there's 30 buildings, ruins, restored gardens and houses on the site that you have full access to wander around.
No spooky ghost tours.
No spooky ghost tours. We're not doing that, and we're not doing that at night time. So it's all just during the day. So no need to be scared. We're going to do the guided tour, but you'll also have plenty of time to actually explore this on your own. So, you know, in small groups, if anyone does want to just wander off and have a little bit of me time, they've got time to explore on their own and really take in everything that Port Arthur has to offer out there. On the way back from Port Arthur, if there is time, we will get to stop at the lavender shop.
Ooh.
Now, previous guests that have travelled on this one have really enjoyed the lavender ice cream.
Oh yes, I remember you talking about that.
Yes, and it was a big hit. So, fingers crossed on this tour, there is also time to do that. You'll get to buy all your lavender gifts. It's a great time as well to pick up some souvenirs.
Why not?
And definitely indulge in that. Returning to Hobart late this afternoon, freshen up again in the hotel, and then we will meet for dinner.
Day 5 in Hobart is a free day, and what this means is you're going to be able to have time to do the things that you'd like to do. There's so many free activities that you can do whilst in Hobart. One of the most popular things to do is to enjoy the open air Salamanca markets with the hustle and bustle and enjoying all the colours and the excitement, as well as the local produce that they sell. So it's a lovely way of being able to enjoy your Saturday morning. After that, though, there is plenty of things to see and do, and our host will be on hand to be able to give you recommendations, suggestions, and assist in how to get from A to B and so forth. But as a couple of suggestions, and from past experiences, our past passengers have enjoyed going to Hobart's Museum of Old and New Art, known as Mona. So you've got that on hand. You've also got the opportunity, if you're an avid bird watcher, to go out to the reserve that they have nearby. You have the choice of going on some walking trails. There is an option of going to Mount Wellington, as well as there's some lovely beaches nearby that you are also able to enjoy. But there is also nothing better than just making your way down to the harbour and just enjoying seeing the boats and the yachts coming in. It is a lovely way to spend an afternoon after enjoying the markets. So this day is all about you and what you want to do and how you think you'll be able to enjoy it. So if that is going out in the morning and then having a nana nap in the afternoon, then that is exactly what you can do. We're just there to be able to give you some options after having such a wonderful trip so far. We just thought it would be nice to break the journey up and just give you some downtime to do what you please. So tonight we will all come together and enjoy a restaurant with the locals and wine and dine and share our different activities and experiences that we've had today and any photos that we've taken along the way. So tonight we will be out and about in town before heading back to our hotel for the evening.
Day 6 of our itinerary sees us spending a fair bit of time in the Huon Valley. So we're going to take in some beautiful panoramic views of the city and the estuary from Mount Nelson before we travel along the Dontracastle Channel. It was once a haven for sealers and whalers, and it's now one of Hobart's big aquatic playground areas. Mostly today it's about gardens, so we're going to spend some time at the Crawley Wood Garden, which is a beautiful 2-hectare garden which is in the picturesque hills of Cygnet. It's full of lush woodland and rainforest, and there's an amazing variety of plants there. So if you have quite the green thumb, this is going to be a day that's going to be very interesting to you. Even if you don't, right?
It's just beautiful.
Just stunning, and it's going to be relaxing and lots to look at. We're also going to enjoy lunch at a local restaurant whilst we're out there. So really getting to sample a lot of Tassie's beautiful produce that is paddock to plate. On our way back into Hobart, we are going to also stop in at the Royal Tasmanian Botanical Gardens. It holds the beautiful historic plant collection and a large number of significant trees, and a lot of those date back to the 19th century. So something great and lovely way to end the day, just wandering through the gardens there. And so, as I've mentioned, you've got your lunch included today. But dinner tonight is free choice, Danny, right?
It is. So even though it seems like you've got a really busy day today, this day is going to be quite a leisurely paced itinerary. So you're going to be able to walk around as much as you like or as little as you like. So depending on how you're feeling at the end of today, as to whether you'd maybe like to enjoy your dinner with the group, or whether you want to make the most of it and get room service or have dinner at the hotel. Our host will have a chat to everybody about this at lunchtime likely, and work out what everybody feels like they want to do. So he or she will be able to then arrange to either go out for dinner again, or whether we organise a table at the hotel, or whether you're going to just have a shower, get into your pajamas and order room service. Tonight is all about you and what you want to do. So this evening concludes the way you'd like to do it.
So this morning of day 7, we're going to have some breakfast and check out of our hotel, board the coach, and we are making our way to Strahan. Along the way to Strahan, however, we're going to go through the Derwent Valley first and heading into the historic area of New Norfolk. Along the way, we're also going to go through the Highland Trout Lakes to Tarraleigh Gorge, which is the site of an early hydroelectric power station. So that's something really exciting to look at. Again, for photos and just seeing that area and how the power is created is really quite exciting. We also visit the Wall in the Wilderness. Now, this is an extraordinary piece of art, and it is built and carved out of a massive Tasmanian hewn pine, and it tells the story of the Tasmanian Central Highlands. So from our past passengers that have actually witnessed this and seen it, they've bought the books about it as well, because it gives a really in-depth detail of the story there, and the photos are just incredible that they bring back from the visit to that. We're also going to enter through to the Wild Rivers National Park, and there is a stunning rainforest walk through to Nelson Waterfalls. So the walk itself is approximately 30 minutes in and 30 minutes out at a decent pace. Some passengers may not like to do the whole walk because it's a little bit long for them, and that's okay because there's a beautiful area.
Comfortable seat just to relax while the others wander through.
Yeah, there's a great little area outside where the coach will park, where they can still wander and be within the rainforest itself. Obviously, once you get through to the end of the walk there, the Nelson Waterfalls are there, and it's stunning. Great place for photos once again. Leaving there, we will be go through the colourful hills and cross through Lake Burbury, descending into the ghost towns of the Chamonix Valley and onto the copper mining town of Queenstown. So after a little time there, we then continue on to Strahan, and we will be checking into the Strahan village, have a little bit of a freshen up, and then we're going to meet for dinner, and we're going to be staying in Strahan for the next 2 nights.
Today is day 8, and we'll be enjoying the spectacular, amazing, beautiful, stunning, crazy,
Yeah, all those words.
Right? So we're going to the Gordon River, and we're going to be enjoying a spectacular cruise that's going to travel through the wilderness and right on the edge of the World Heritage. You'll find there is nothing like this. It is a very special day, and for water lovers, and being on the water is just going to be stunning. You've got views out to the Macquarie Harbour, past Sarah Island, which was the worst convict settlement of all. We're going to follow through the Gordon, through stands of the ancient human pine. We've got sassafras, we've got myrtle rainforest, we've got a little bit of everything, but we will be stepping ashore for a short boardwalk. Again, if you feel like this is too much and you want to stay on the boat, you have got the choice to do so. This is for those people that do just want to do the heritage landing boardwalk. But as I said, you'll still see the same views. It's just going to be from the boat rather than from the land. As we voyage through to Hell's Gate, the aptly named harbour entrance, where many of the early ships were destroyed by the furious ocean swells. It is something to see. So on our return to Strahan, we will be exploring the village, including a short trip to the visitor centre and seeing the Hue and Pine sawmill before we return to our accommodation and enjoy a quick freshen up and meet in the hotel for a delicious dinner.
It's an amazing day. Like, you know, there's not going to be anything like it, really.
Comfy shoes, bottle of water, hat or a scarf, and away you go.
That's it.
Bit of sunscreen.
Definitely.
Don't forget the sunscreen.
And we should also mention, on your cruise, you do get lunch included today as well. So
we do.
It's a beautiful lunch on board the boat. So, yeah, beautiful day. Everyone's going to love it.
Bucket list item.
Definitely. Tick. So we're up to day 9. And today is a bit of a travel day as we are heading back to Launceston. But before we get into Launceston, we of course need to stop at the stunning Cradle Mountain National Park.
Ooh la la.
Oh yeah, like beautiful. We are going to have some lunch at the Cradle Mountain Hotel, and then we're going to take the little shuttle bus out to Dove Lake, which is at the foot of the Cradle Mountain. We'll also visit Waldheim, which is a forest home of the pioneer Gustav Weindorfer. I hope I've said his name correctly. I don't want to offend. We'll also visit the Wilderness Gallery, and then we're going to get back onto the bus and head along the highway through the mountains and the grass plains and head northwest.
Doesn't get any greener than this.
Not really, no. It will be absolutely amazing. The grass plains are just gorgeous to look at, and you know, photos, everybody, along this whole trip, all you're going to be doing is taking photos all the way. We're going to stop in Sheffield before we get to Launceston. There is some gorgeous outdoor art galleries, really impressive murals as well, so make sure you take in of those. Getting back to Launceston, we're going to check in this evening and meet back in the hotel, and unfortunately the tour is almost at an end at this point. No. So we're going to have a farewell dinner. So
of course.
Yeah, we
need to reflect.
We do, that's right. And we'll meet in the hotel and enjoy one last dinner together.
So today is day 10, and unfortunately that means that we're at the end of the trip.
We are.
Unfortunately, we also means that we do need to check out of the hotel. So this morning after breakfast, we do ask that everybody come down with their bags packed and ready to go for the day. As at the end of our sightseeing, we will be heading straight off to the airport afterwards. But today we're going to finish off with the lovely, or should I say magnificent, Cataract Gorge. So this is a cliffside gorge with beautiful gardens and peacocks and a suspension footbridge, which has one of the longest single-span chairlifts in the world.
Amazing.
Now, this is something that's definitely worth doing.
It is, yes. However...
Exactly. People that are scared of heights are going to find this daunting. This is, it can be a little confronting. So it's a very minimal expense extra. So we have allowed time for those that do want to appreciate it in the air, or others like myself who would happily stay on the ground. There will be time for you to just enjoy the beautiful gorge. The water's flowing is just it is a lovely to see from both aerial and foot, but this is something that we leave in your capable hands. So once you've decided on whether you'd like to do it or not, you just need to let our local guide know, and they'll make the arrangements so you'll be able to enjoy that if you choose to do so. We will also have the pleasure of going out to the historical village of Evandale, home to the National Penny Farthing Championships. So we're not going to be partaking in this.
I should hope not.
I'd like to see that though. But we're also going to be finishing off with where we've had our past passenger spend somewhat a lot of money in the past. Overindulging at the Gourmet Sauce Company. So this is where you can get all of your jarred goods and
beautiful condiments are there.
Delicious.
Yeah. We're also going to meet Maddie the Labrador.
Oh, so cute.
Maddie is the meet and greet lady, and she gives the welcome before we head in for our beautiful, amazing barbecue lunch that
So
we'll
this
finish
is
up the
where COVID restrictions aren't necessary because everybody wants to cuddle, right?
Right, you have to cuddle Maddie the Labrador. You can't not.
So we're going to enjoy a cuddle from Maddie, and then we're going to enjoy a beautiful barbecue lunch in the gardens. Now this is when we really truly do say farewell to some of our guests. Some will be extending their stay in Tasmania, which is always welcome. Those that are going to be flying out on later schedules will be dropped back into town, and those that are going to be leaving on the same schedule as our host, travelling back to Brisbane, will be taken out to the airport so we can make our journey home. Like all good things, they do come to an end. This is the conclusion of our Tasmanian Highlights tour, departing in March 2022. We've really enjoyed going through this itinerary with you today. Beck and I have had a little bit of fun reading through it and getting jealous at the adventures you're bound to have.
Without us, because we won't be going.
No, we won't. And luckily I get to see you still off at the airport though.
This is true.
On your return home, in the coming weeks, we'll do our best to get our photo books done up for you so we can get them posted to you so you'll have a memento of your fabulous trip and the memories that you shared with your fellow travellers, and hope to welcome you on a future Solar Connections tour.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening, and we look forward to talking to you soon. If you've got any questions whatsoever about the tour, please give us a call. Our number in the office is 1300 044 444, or see your favourite travel agent and get them to give us a call. Always happy to have a chat with your agent. Thanks again, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.